What if this safety you've been searching for doesn't come from outside of you? What if you could actually create a felt sense of safety inside your own body, even when the world outside of you feels uncertain? So for years, I thought I had to hustle for safety, do more, fix myself, and get everything just right. But no matter how hard I tried, I still felt anxious or disconnected. What I didn't know at the time was that what I was really missing was internal safety. This is actually video 6 of my 8-part mini course here on YouTube. It's designed to help you understand and heal your nervous system, one layer at a time. Hi, I'm Jess. I'm a somatic coach with over 20 years of experience practicing and teaching yoga, meditation, and body-based healing. I truly believe that our nervous system is at the heart of our life, way more than most of us realize, and that it's the foundation for all the changes that we crave. So whether that's healing old wounds, creating new habits, experiencing more love and connection, or simply living with more ease and authenticity. That's why this work matters so much. In the last video, we explored how to widen our window of tolerance so that our system could handle more without tipping into overwhelm, without getting dysregulated. But here's the thing. We can only grow our capacity when we have a safe base to grow from. And that's where internal safety comes in. So without it, we default to survival patterns. With it, we open the door to real change. So what does internal safety actually mean? Think of it like the roots of a tree. The deeper and more grounded they are, the more wind the tree can handle without toppling over. For example, maybe someone gives you feedback, and instead of being able to take it in, your body floods with shame and anxiety. Not because their words were harsh or unkind, but because your body didn't feel safe enough to hold that vulnerability. That's a nervous system response. It's not a personality flaw. Internal safety is a felt sense that says, I'm not in danger right now. I can soften. I can stay open. I can stay present. It doesn't mean that life is perfect. It means that we have enough stability and capacity inside to not be hijacked by stress and fear. When we start to build this, we stop bracing for impact. We stop second guessing ourselves so much. We stop abandoning who we are the moment things get hard. And that changes everything. So why is this missing for so many of us? Well, most of us were never taught how to feel safe inside. Instead, we learn to look outside of ourselves for reassurance, approval, or regulation. And some of us grew up in environments where safety was unpredictable or never there at all. And in those situations, our nervous system adapted brilliantly. It scanned for threat, it stayed on edge, and it made that our baseline. But we don't want that to be our baseline anymore. And the good news, it doesn't have to be. That baseline isn't permanent. With gentle, repeated experiences of safety, our system can learn a new normal. So how do we begin? Here are 4 practices that will support you in building more internal safety. Practice number 1 is to follow your body's impulses. So pause and just notice what your body naturally wants to do. You might find the urge to move, eat, stretch, or use the bathroom. When I first started paying attention to this, I was shocked by how often I was ignoring my body's signals. I'd be working at my computer long past when I needed a break. I ignored hunger or the need to use the bathroom because I was so deep in a project. I'd notice that my eyes were tired or my body wanted to get up and stretch, but I just pushed through. And a lot of us learn this at a really early age, right? As athletes, we're taught to play through pain. In school, we're told to sit down and pay attention. And now technology makes it even harder. I see it in kids. The minute they look up from the screen, they're suddenly starving. The truth is, they were probably hungry a long time ago, but they'd disconnected from their body and its signals. And of course, we can't follow every impulse immediately, right? Like sometimes we're in a meeting and we can't eat the moment that we notice that we're hungry. But we can acknowledge it. We can, in our own way, say to our body, I hear you and I will tend to this as soon as I can. It seems almost too simple, but it matters so much. And practice number 2 is to orient your environment, which just means to let your eyes slowly take in the space around you. Notice colors, shapes, and light. Orienting is actually a natural way our nervous system assesses safety. So when we pause and do it consciously, when we really let our eyes take in what they're seeing, when we let it truly register, it sends a powerful message to our system, a message that says, like, right now, I'm safe. And you might begin by noticing what naturally draws your eyes. And then as you stay with it a little longer, invite your gaze to land on things further away, further in the distance. Really registering objects in the distance is extra supportive for your nervous system. And practice number 3 is to use your senses. So notice what you feel with your skin, what you smell. Notice the sounds around you. So gentle sensory input can awaken our system without overwhelming it. It also anchors us right here, right now, in the present moment. As someone who's spent over 20 years in yoga, meditation, and presence practices, I often wonder why this isn't talked about more. Right? Mindfulness and meditation, they teach us to be present, but there's a really common misunderstanding that presence is a product of the mind. I've seen so many people, myself included, try to think their way into presence. But what I found is that the most direct, effective route into this moment is through the senses. Because our senses, they orient us to our felt experience. And for me, that's where the deepest, most profound presence actually lives. And practice number 4 is to come back to small anchors, a breath, a grounding phrase, a memory that feels good. So you might remember from the last video when we talked about pendulation and resources. And it's these resources, the feeling of our feet on the ground, a few slow, deep breaths, a quiet moment with our pet or our partner. These act as anchors to safety. And when we return to these anchors, even just for a moment, it helps our system pendulate. It helps it move from a state of activation and stress into moments of greater ease and calm. And that doesn't just support us in the moment, it supports us over time. It helps our system shift out of survival and into trust, not only during those small pauses, but across our life as a whole. And this is how we gently widen our window of tolerance and how we build a nervous system that's more resilient overall. And these aren't tasks to get done or to get right. They're gentle invitations to meet ourselves with more care. And over time, they create a whole new internal landscape. And when you try one of these, pause for a moment. What do you notice? Even tiny shifts, a softer jaw, a slower breath, those matter. And that noticing is powerful. It helps you learn what actually works for you. And it tells your body, I'm here, I'm listening. This is how internal safety grows, not all at once, but through micro moments that add up over time. And remember, this 8-part series is more than just videos. It's a process of learning how to feel safe in our own skin. And the free companion workbook I created is here to support you in that process. Inside, you'll find nervous system maps, daily check-ins, sensory explorations, and space to track your capacity and build supportive resources. You can download it using the link below. And in our next video, we'll explore some of the most powerful resources for regulation, things like deep rest, yoga, journaling, time in nature, and so much more. And after that, we'll look at how nervous system healing leads to deeper connection, not just with ourselves, but with others. Because the safer we feel inside, the more we're able to show up for real intimacy, real joy, and real life. And if this was helpful, give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'd love to know what's one small way that you felt a little safer or a little more supported lately. Your story, it might help someone else feel less alone. Remember, you're not too much, you're not broken, you're just learning how to feel safe enough to be fully yourself. I'll see you in the next video.